if you've noticed, it's been some time since my last video, and this one's not going to be a fun video. If you're expecting something like my usual tone, either checking out an older one or just wait until the next one. This one is a little bit different. I began working on an art piece that began with so much optimism, ignited so much fire and passion underneath me to grind and create, but this piece was my downfall. So let's take a trip back to where I started. Back in the holiday of 2021, I did the stippling piece of Dot Warner, and then shortly after, Wacko Warner. It was like a little fun project, a little fun video idea that, I did it and it was pretty cool. It caught the attention of one of my friends that worked in art school and her professor and classmates, and they loved it so much that they sent out an invitation for me to create an art piece, or art pieces as I found out later, for a gallery. I was so overjoyed and so beyond words that I immediately said yes. And I began crafting ideas and names and so on and so forth for these pieces. And I thought, whatever would be suitable for a gallery and to make a name for myself, because I've never had the opportunity. I'm an amateur at best, and still, frankly, am. My art skills are not grand enough in my comparison to be in a whole gallery with people that have studied and created these amazing, outstanding, phenomenal pieces. And then there's mine. I told my family, and I told my friends and my roommates that I worked with, and of course my love, and they were excited. And I mean, I was too. Let's be honest. I got a chance to be in a gallery, and anyways, a couple months pass. I get this form to submit the pieces and the names, the medium that I'll be using, and the prices. And this is where I didn't want to put a cheap price, because then I felt like that would coincide with how my art pieces would be considered as cheap. But I also didn't want to sit here and be pretentious or make them too high, and then people were like, oh, well, you paid this much for this. So I made them for $500. $500, and I thought, okay, I've done a lot larger pieces, like much bigger than anything back here that's held up right now, for very close, very similar, but not 500. So I said, maybe I can justify it. And in order to justify what I would do and to keep true to what got me in to the gallery and the interest, I decided to go ahead and, instead of doing the Dot Warner and Wacko Warner pieces on a little 10x7, I got, as you see right here, this sketchbook of archival paper, and I decided to go off of that size to justify the $500 price tag. But now we're on May 10th of 2022. This is where my first piece, again, like I said, to keep true to what got me in the gallery, I decided to do a stippling piece. I don't know. I thought it would be easy because, the dot piece and the Wacko Warner piece took 100,000 dots, 10x7, took me a couple days. With this piece, maybe, just consistently dotting, I could knock it out in 2-3 weeks, maybe a month tops. I'm gonna give you a quick mathematical equation real quick and some mathematics. Don't worry if you didn't watch the dot video, we'll do it here real quick. In perspective, I average 6 dots a second. Is that right? Okay, I average between 300 to 360 dots. I'll give you the total at the end of the video, how many dots I did to create the piece. Here goes the first of many, many, many dots. And that steam that fueled that passion to work on this enormous and burden of an art piece ran dry very quickly. First and foremost, my props to the stippling artists that genuinely do this. I applaud you. You all are absolutely insane with your talented skills and patience. The challenge is my hands were cramping. I even switched to my right hand to do the stippling, which slowed me down even more, just consistently dotting the entire time and just looking at the page. There was nothing different. It was just dot after dot after dot, and my eyes just crossed over. I got tired. I got fatigued when I was doing this, and I know, it's all in the art and craft, but I usually sit down and grind out as much as I possibly can, make decent progress, but this one I couldn't. So I decided to do the best thing I know how to do and just avoid it. I didn't get any further contact about how the gallery was coming together or any other specifications, and so I didn't even entertain working on the other pieces. I had to submit a total of 6, so I had 5 others I didn't even acknowledge. I wrote the names. I had the general idea of what I wanted to do with them, but I didn't touch them. Never touched them. I shelved it, and I decided to do other things, other projects or video ideas, and I picked at it, and then life got turned around, and not for the best. This is about July. My grandmother passed away. The job I was doing at the time, I couldn't afford to keep doing it, and I was just so ready to give up because things just got so dark at that time. Finances and just everything else, and obviously other things. I got a new job that helped so much more than I think they realize. Stephanie, if you're watching this, thank you so much. She's the owner of the Planet Smoothie that I worked at, so thank you. What it did give me was the time, the spark to work on these other pieces, get ideas going. I got a little bit of creative spark back, and it was liberating. This piece was always on the back burner. I did not want to acknowledge it. I did not want to work on it. I did chip at it piece by piece by piece. I kept starting other things and creating other things. I lost touch with the gallery and the people that I was conversing with, and nothing came up. So the little light of hope that I had, I just kept holding on to it. I was like, maybe, just maybe I'll hear back, or maybe if I just work on this a little bit more, that it'd all be worth it. But the motivation to do that when there's nothing left, why am I doing this? Why am I? So I decided to put it back on the shelf. And it's what I do best. Whenever I feel too overwhelmed, too challenged, I just put it back. And that's what I've done with this piece. And especially one piece that I've been working on and off and on and off and not touching it for over 3 years. And I'm tired of it. I just overpromise and super underdeliver. That's where I just was overwhelmed. My plate is overflowing with so many different ideas and so many different tasks and commission that I couldn't sleep worse than I already do now. Distracting myself with pleasures and various other distractions, different mediums, and for the sakes and excuse that it's to enhance my skill set when I don't even have the skill set of things that I was already working on. Fast forward to the move. I moved. I got a lot of stuff done. I was able to work on some other projects again and finish 4 commissions, and it was the best work I had ever done. Now we're on to my current job. Now it's not hard by any means. The shifts are long, they're all day, which I don't mind that. Trust me, I do what I gotta do. But it made it impossible, next to impossible, to do anything worthwhile without the cost of sacrificing the quality to keep that consistent enough. In the days off, I had to catch up on everything else that I didn't get done. I kept adding more and more things to it, to my list, to my plate, and knowing very well I shouldn't, and I know exactly what I had to do. Sorry you watched this video expecting like something else, but this is what this is. That flame that I had that was ignited by that piece, it's gone. it's been gone, and I've just been too ignorant to acknowledge it. It was during the production of Commission Part 9 that I even struggled to create a sketch of what I was creating. Now, it was this very moment right here.
I'm going to pause.
And I'm not sure what it was. Maybe how terrible the sketch was coming out. Maybe how poorly I felt about that piece. Maybe it was the fact that I had no heart in what I was creating. There was no passion. It was just, I had to get it done. I put that piece up. I put up that commission. I pulled out the sketchbook that was holding this piece that has started the entire seeds of doubt. I looked at the calendar and I made a promise. Create the Christmas in July video. No other piece can be created until this piece is done. Until this discipline piece is completed, there was no other pieces, no other videos to be made until this was done. And so, that's what I did. For the next 3 months, whenever I had any free time, it was solely this one piece. The amount of progress that I made was actually staggering. I got through so many audiobooks. I'll list them below, the ones I got through. I know that's not even relevant, but I don't care. This is what I want to tell you. That flame that died had been reignited, and it was the most brightest, the most brilliant flame that has ever been created in my art history for a very long time. I think, yeah, at least 6 years. It's been 6 years since I've had this passion. And you know what? I watched the page fill up. I watched the dots multiply. I worked on it day after day after day. Even after I got off work, there were some days I would at least get the camera set up. I would get everything filming going. I would do a little bit, and then I would put it back when I felt I was exhausted. It was the middle of October when my love and I got to go on our first vacation in over a year. The energy that she just gave out, and she knew how much this has been stressful and all the other things. So, love, thank you. I decided to have one last session to just grind out, to just go through, finish it all. It was over 2.5 hours, and she was there rooting for me the entire time. When I realized how close we got to finishing it, I decided to live stream it on my Instagram. And even though it was so late, I think it was like 1 a.m., no one was awake.
Oh man, that 8-second lag? Oh man.
I didn't realize that like when people do it, it's like 8 seconds. Are you done?
Is that it? Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's done. Oh, it's done. Oh, it's done. It's done. Let me zoom out on this camera.
Oh, look, Ryan joined at last.
Is that payback? Oh my god. What? This could have been so. Oh, it's done. It's done.
Like he said, they were like the last
I knew it. And of course, of all people. Bro, thank you. Wow, that could have been some more, serendipitous? Thank you, it's done. You have no idea how relieving that is. It's done.
Shiva is so concerned.
I could almost cry, but I don't want to get the page wet. We finished about time! Oh, man.
It's done. It's finally done. The stress that lifted off my shoulders was such an immense amount of weight. I couldn't put it properly in words if I tried. Thank you all so much. And I know this is not my usual video, and I thank you. I had to get this done, had to get it over with. And it may not mean anything to you. It literally just may be a page of a bunch of dots, but thank you for making it this far. Thank you for being so patient. I know I have not communicated or been the most open about everything, and trust me, I miss creating videos. I miss being in front of a camera creating for you all. I miss the production, things you don't see behind the scenes. I'm creating the videos and the magic and hearing the feedback from the comments, people that tell me in person, or the messages I get. So thank you. The entire process, I love it to death, and here's to many, many more. There's nothing left to do but refill this piece. But first, the title of this piece. I originally titled this piece Hope. And it's because when things get dark, and they do get dark, as long as you have hope, there's always a little bit of light to keep the darkness from completely engulfing you. And after recalculating and compressing the first 20 plus hours into a 2-minute segment, which I'm not going to show you because it made me sick watching it. There's over a terabyte of footage, over 60 plus hours on this one piece alone. And the count, the count is over 1 point, and saying it out loud is crazy. It's over 1.2 million dots on this page. If I ever do another piece like this, which that's a very tall order, I'll have a dedicated timer to keep track of it. But it's gonna be a while before I do anything that grandioso as a stippling piece. But my name is Agent Double Sonic. Thank you so much for watching. Do all the YouTube stuff. And until the next one, here's the final shots. We're back, baby. Let's go. Peace, love, and hot sauce. And as always, thanks for watching.